Okay, so let's see this program run that works out the total hours of sunshine. I've loaded the file, I'll right click and inspect on it. And go to the sources tab. That's already resized okay. Remember the watch expression output was what I was using before in the previous example, so I'm going to remove that. And I'm interested in various variables, so I'm going to add some watches for hours. And notice how it's recognized that there's a variable called that, so the typing is just entered. So I'm going to watch these various variables: total, hours sunshine, forget that it's got numbers there, it's because I've already run the program once. Just to load this. Okay, so now I'm going to reload the file. I'm going to watch it work back. I'm going to reload the file. Okay, so it started off, all of our variables are undefined. It defines that one 0 on the computer. Comes to line 3, so total hours sunshine currently undefined, and that line executes now 0, so the month equals 0. And as long as month is less than 12, or month is less than 12, it's on. So it will go in there. If it started off at 13, it would never go in that loop. It would jump straight to line 12. So now watch what happens. So it comes up with this line. Hours of sunshine will equal whatever the prompt does. So when I execute that line, the prompt pops up. Just off the screen. How many hours of sunshine for month 1? And that's the variable. That was the question I asked you on the web page, what that plus month equals. So I'm going to type in number 6, and I'll click OK. So it now comes around. So you can see what I'm talking about. That was where it added on the month. So each time around the question, it will say how many hours of sunshine for month 1, month 2, etc. Now what I'm doing is I'm adding on to the hours, onto total hours of sunshine, the hours of sunshine. So the total hours are currently 0, we add on to that 6, and we assign that to total hours sunshine. Now, notice something already, because this is a clue. Total hours sunshine, that is 0. Hours of sunshine is not 6, it's 6 in quotation marks. Is that significant? Remember what we said about data types on the previous page. So I move forward, and now total hours sunshine is changed from being a number to being a string. Okay, so bear that in mind. We add one onto month, so month will become 2. It checks if month is still less than 12, which it is, so it comes in again, it asks me again. How many hours of sunshine for month number 2? So I'm going to type in 7. And click OK. And it adds on the same as it did before. But notice what happens to this. It's now, didn't say 6 plus 7, it's added 2 strings together, not 2 numbers. So if you think about it, if you had a string like Rob and another string like John, if you added them together, you'd get Rob John. You know, there's no way you can add Rob to John and get some other name. So what's happening is when you add strings, they get what's known as concatenated, not added. So that's a logic error. And if I let the program run, instead of working out the total, it will just concatenate all the strings together. So I'm going to let the program run. In fact, it will do it 12 times, so I'm quickly going to just type in numbers. You can't see the same word, but at this page from asking no questions. It thinks it's an error, but obviously this is what we want. So bear with me while I just do that 12 times. And there's the answer. So it's not right. So we need to figure out how to take a string and convert it to a number. So open a new tab, JavaScript, convert string to, it's not just any old number, it's an integer, remember, because it's a whole number. And there is a function called parse it. So click to my enter, and there, that's the thing that's a string. I'm going to type parse int, open brackets, get parents to this strictly correct, and that's the thing I want to convert from being a string into an integer before I add it to my token. So now I'll save that. I'll switch back to my editor, which is my browser, which is there, and I'll reload the page, and I'll do the same again. So I can say initialize all my variables, ask me how many hours, type in 3, click OK, and it's stored our sunshine as a string. And now if you remember, before I add it, I'm going to parse it to be an integer. Watch what happens to total hours sunshine. It's now a number. Next time around the string, it asks, the loop, it asks me the same question again. I'll type in 5, and click OK, it stores 5 as a string, but when I add it on, it's added onto a number. So that looks okay. Now, there's more than one way to do that. Instead of parsing that as an int, I could have put parse in to run the entirety of that, and that would have converted it and stored it as our sunshine. I could have even added an extra line. Just depends on what you find more reasonable. Where I could have said hours sunshine equals parse int hours sunshine. And that would have done the same thing, and then I could have, I needed to parse it there, I could have done it there. It's just a question of which you find easy to read and which you find easy to understand. The important thing is that that as an error, you wouldn't, it didn't pop up on the screen saying error. You needed to use the debugger to watch it and do it, to try and figure out what the error was when you look at the error. Hope that's useful.